Here we go again with Excel in Windows. This is the version of Windows that you'll have on campus. It's easier, and I think my other video addresses how to do it on a Mac, but I just wanted to give you the view of how to do things in Windows. I've already entered the Volcano data, interval between eruptions of a given size here, and the size in cubic kilometers. I drag across to select just the data, including the column headings. Go over to Insert, Insert Chart. Yes, Charts, Scatter. It gives you a preview of what it's going to look like. That's not exactly what I want, but we'll fix that in a minute. So I click. Let's resize it a little bit for better viewability. Resize. Okay, so now at this point we have on the left-hand side the quick layout menu, and that gives us this option. And again, a preview shows up down below. I'm going to call that, one good. I like the internal grid lines and the overall layout. I think it's much more readable than the default chart. You can experiment with others if you want also. So there's that. Now we will take care of the titles, the axis titles, and so forth in a minute. Let's first of all change both the axes to logarithmic. Remember, we're looking at a very, very large range of data here, from close to 0 years to 100,000 years, and from tiny, tiny eruptions up to massive eruptions. So right-click on axis, the x-axis down here, right-click on it, format axis, tell it we want logarithmic. Let's go ahead and right-click on the y-axis, tell that logarithmic. 2, while we've got the axis dialog open, let us I don't like this at all. I don't like the axis labels in the middle of the plot. I don't understand why Excel does that. It only does it in Windows, and don't get me started. But let's go to labels down here. Label position low. We'll move that out to the outside. Not very intuitive, but we're used to that. Clicked on the x-axis, so it's selected. Label position low, sends it down there below. Okay, so that's starting to look a lot better than it was. We can now start doing some more formatting. So right-click within the chart area, hit Format Chart Area, and we get some other options as to what we want to do. You can play around with the formatting. The main thing that I want to see is a trend line. So let's go to the chart elements, the little plus symbol here. Hit that. We want to hit, we'll give it a chart title too. Yes, yes. We want a trend line to be inserted. Doesn't look very good. It only goes partially down. But if you notice, there's a little right arrow here. Let us click the right arrow, go to more options. Let's force the chart, the trend line to go through the origin, through 0, and let's also display the equation on the chart. So it's just popped up there, right there. Now, let's give it some labels. The X and Y axes, some labels. So let us, this one is what? Move it out of the way. Yeah, this is interval. In years, parentheses. This one is size, double click in the box, size, in kilometers cubed, and you can drag across there and format that, I believe. Yeah, I thought there was a way to do a superscript, but we can get to that. And then let's give things an overall title here. Give it a nice descriptive general title. We don't care. We've already labeled the axes, so we've communicated what each of the axes are showing. So this could be volcano, eruption, size, and frequency. And let's move that around so that it's centered a little bit better. There we go. We get a chance to drag it. I'm going to get rid of these. Don't care for them. And there's a nice plot. We've got our, we can make that a little bit bigger if you want. We can format that. You can do other stuff. You can do format it as a number. You can so on and so forth there. So that is the trendline equation that you're going to use when you're predicting the interval between, I think the question is, how often would you expect to see a volcanic eruption of 1,000,000 cubic kilometers? You plug in 1,000,000 into the left-hand side here, where the y is, and solve for x, and that will spit out the number in years predicted for the interval between volcanic eruptions of 1,000,000 cubic kilometers. So hopefully that's better. It's better for me. Spent a little time on it. So that is a wrap